I said in the weightlifting video that I'd explain why I sound this way. And here it is. In this cemetery, I've just seen someone that didn't last a month. Someone that lasted 30 days. For some months of the year, yeah, that's a month, I know. But still, there's someone here that lasted only 30 days. I know that laughter, I can use laughter as my armor, but I don't think that now is the time to do that, because I may be misinterpreted and be made out to seem as if I'm laughing at that person passing away at such a young age. I would be doing it to be able to move on and to process, to try and find the humor in things like that. But when it comes to death, I don't think that now is the time to laugh this one off, because I don't want to even be seen as if I'm laughing at them passing away at such a young age. But I can certainly process it in another way, talking about it. I was thinking to myself about this and I was able to work through it, but it's rather, I find it quite ironic. I find it quite ironic that we say rest in peace to the fallen. However, sometimes we look down on death, because that phase of life is unknown to us, because we haven't passed and we don't know what it's like to be dead. We only know what it's like to be alive. Isn't it ironic that this same fear of the unknown, us potentially fearing death, is present, but then when people have passed, we say rest in peace to them? If they are so-called resting in peace, then how are we not at peace with the fact that one day we will pass away and rest in peace, like how all of these people among us are right now and will be forever? Well, it could also partly be to do with religious beliefs as well, because there are some people who may think they've wronged enough people to the point where they will go to this place that has been classed as hell, a place that has been deemed unwanted to go, taboo, highly looked down upon, going to, used as an insult. For example, telling someone to go to hell. You don't really hear anyone say go to heaven, but people may say they want to go to heaven. I suppose people would like to imagine that I suppose people would like to imagine that they haven't wronged people enough to think that they are worthy of such a place. But I wonder if these same people have asked themselves, why would they actually want to go there? Is it because they genuinely want to go to heaven, or is it because they don't want to go to hell? Anyway, I'm going to talk about something that's seemingly irrelevant, but I am going to relate it back to that young, very young person passing away. 30 days young. Not 30 years, 30 days young. I really just had to let that settle in. I was talking to someone. This isn't what I said I was going to move on to, but it's something that I want to say anyway. I was talking to someone about the fact that I saw this young person, and he was saying that coming here allows him to come back to reality. Even though he was physically out of shape, I have a higher level of mutual respect for this man than I would other physically out of shape people, because it's obvious to me that he at least somewhat respects the dead, because he was watering the grass that's above people's headstones, people who he knew personally, of course. And I must say, I respect that. I respect that man. I have a higher level of mutual respect for that man than I would physically out of shape, other physically out of shape people who I haven't seen do this for the fallen that they once knew. We say that we say that these people rest in peace, but then we look down upon it. Perhaps because we'd like to try and undo the fact that we're going to pass away, but I don't want to be like Deadpool, where I see my friends die over and over and over again, and the only way out that I have is being burnt by the sun. Now I'm alright, and I don't have to even think about that being a reality for me, because I have an expiry date, just like how everyone else does. I can certainly lengthen that expiry date by eating healthily, which I've certainly been making an effort to do. Just like how I can shorten it by allowing myself to feel stressed out and allowing myself to eat unhealthily. But I'm now going to go more so in that part of feeling stressed out, because this is the part that I said, this is the thing that I wanted to talk about, that I said I was going to get into. So here it is. I was just coming back from having a walk, and on my way back, well, on my way here actually, I was just I was walking and letting my hands touch a rail which was connected to someone's house. It was the sort of rail that you put large flower plants in, and just seemingly out of nowhere, this person, some person came from the house, knocked on the window, said "dickhead" in a rather frustrated way. I didn't see this person's face, but I knew by how they sounded it was a woman. But that was it. My initial reaction to her saying this was fair enough, because that person, I think, is living there, and I have no idea of how that sounds on the other side. I could have been extremely disturbing that person's sleep without me even realizing it. I know that I wasn't doing that with malice. I was just walking, and then I just did that, like how I've done in the past, and haven't got a reaction from. No one's knocked on the window. But she doesn't know that. She doesn't know that I wasn't doing it out of malice. I just would do that sometimes. Not to disturb anyone, it would just be something that I would do that I wouldn't think about. I don't deeply think about everything. I'd probably go insane if I did. And that was one of the many mundane things I do that I didn't think about, because it didn't seem to have any consequences. No one knocked on the door. No one knocked on the window. It said dickhead to me. I've never got that. I've never got even anyone knocking on the window. But then again, I don't know what it sounds like on the other side, and I don't know that person's situation. I don't know what's happened to that person. So I'm not going to feel unhappy that that person said this. And even though, again, as I said, I did not do that out of malice, that woman doesn't know. That woman doesn't know that. And she could have felt very frustrated that someone, me, and potentially even other people, have done that so many times and they haven't caught them doing it. And this is one of the many things that I just feel very grateful that I've improved my mental health to such a point that I can firstly take time to not shrug it off and to process it, and then allow myself to let go of it by laughing it off. From now on, from this day onward, I will now allow myself to use laughter as my armor. Because from personal experience, like how I laughed that one off, I'm no longer feeling any fear towards it or feeling embarrassed or anything like that, when in the past I would, when I wouldn't laugh such things off. Not only that, but I can use nature as my armor. I consider using nature as my armor because I know from personal experience that being a lot more in touch with nature than I have been in the past is stress relieving for me. And the less stress that I feel, or better yet, better still, the more I manage my stress, the more healthy my mental state's going to be. If I didn't track my mental health on a weekly basis, there's no way that I'd be where I'm at today and be able to laugh awkward things like that off, or things that I wouldn't want to happen. I would not be able to laugh these things off. And I really believe this because I wouldn't do that in the past. It's only something that I've started doing today, basically. If I'm walking on the street and I want to go on a certain way, but it seems like this person wants to go the same way who's coming my way, and we're kind of crisscrossing because we're not sure of each other's paths and where we're going, I could laugh that off. But in the past, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I'd feel shame, maybe. I personally try and shrug it off. I try and shrug it off, and I try to not think about it. But things don't have to be that way, and I'm not going to make things that way anymore. I was just making life unnecessarily more depressing than it has to be. Life could be absolutely amazing. It could be beautiful if I allow it to be. I can make my life could be amazing if I allow it to be. And I am now. But without tracking my mental health on a weekly basis, I wouldn't be here. I would not be at this level. Oh man. And yeah, after that happened, I came here and then I saw that young person that was 30 days old. That lasted 30 days, man. 30 days? 30 days young, I should say. And I was thinking, after that, I was stressing out about that person saying dickhead who knocked on the window. But then there's these people that aren't even lasting a month, really. I thought it was 20 days, but I miscalculated. Yes, I looked at the person's headstone. What? Because I saw, what caught my eye was the fact that the headstone was so small. That's why I looked in the first place. And I was like, oh, come on, man. This person's only 20 days old, but it was 30. That's not even a month for some months. For July, that's not even a month. That's one day less. And after seeing that, I thought, there are these people who aren't even lasting. I thought it was 20 days, so I'd say who didn't even get the privilege to last over 3 weeks. Who didn't get the privilege to last 3 weeks, and here I am making myself stress out about that. There's no need, but I understand that now. I understand that. That 30-day young 30-day young person didn't even get to experience the fruits of life. And that 30-day young person has now gone to that place of death. That place which has taboo around it. People, in the form of people fearing death. Something that I don't really hear many people talk about. And even I rarely talk about it. In the day 93, Planck Day 93, I say it's time to pay homage to a family friend who passed. And I come to the cemetery, but even I don't really talk about death that often, I don't think. But it's very helpful. It's something that we can use to our advantage. But I feel very happy that I'm thinking about these sorts of things now rather than later on in life, because that means that I have more time to get myself mentally prepared for when it's my time to pass away. I could use the rain, it's just started to rain. I could use the rain as pathetic fallacy to make it seem like it's unfortunate that that person didn't last a month in some months, for example, July. I can, but I'm not going to. Because I'd much rather, instead of feeling sad and sorry about the fact that that person's passed away, something that I can instead accept and is something that I can think about and come to grips with understanding, or at least try to. People might be out here way too focused on trying to get goals, trying to achieve, rather than actually taking a step back regularly throughout their days and allow themselves to enjoy reality for what it is, which I could do through coming to the cemetery. If you told me 3 years ago that I'd be coming to cemeteries often, I wouldn't believe you. But now, amongst these people, many people that are resting in peace, may they all rest in peace, I'm now feeling at peace. And I don't think that's ironic at all. This is a place that breeds peace. Not only because the fallen are among us, but because this place is silent and not many people do right by themselves and come here. When I say come here, I'm not talking about this cemetery in particular, but I'm just talking about cemeteries in general. You can include this one, I can include this one as well. But yeah, with all of these people that are resting in peace, I'm feeling at peace. And I can understand why, because this place is a breeding ground for peace. This place is so silent, man. And you could just allow yourself to relax and to sit and just enjoy. Not be on the screens so much, and not allow ourselves to feel so depressed by wanting to achieve something all the time, or distracting ourselves with YouTube, which is something that I do through watching Inside the NBA predominantly, or if not, checking Luke Spurgeon's YouTube page, because he's a small creator whose channel doesn't have hundreds of thousands of subscribers right now. It's 700 and in the 710s somewhere. The subscriber count has been increasing more rapidly, and his channel's total view count has been increasing more rapidly since he's got to the 6-figure mark in total views. The view count over all of the videos that he's made combined, that is. But yeah, I don't need to do that. I don't mind doing it, but just less. Do it less. That's the piece of advice I give myself. Because it can be depressing. It can be depression inducing without me even realizing it. Because I'd be spending my time doing that and distracting what I consider a distraction, and therefore make myself believe that I'm not doing as much as I could be in my life. Speaking of, one way that I could prepare myself for death is by doing all in my power, or at least doing everything that I can think of to be able to live life how I want to live life, truthfully. And then when I be able to reminisce, I'll be able to do it with pride. And I'd be able to look back at my life and think that although I might not have been the most privileged of people in the material possessions wise and life situation wise, in the form of having a lot of money and being able to get a whole load of high quality material possessions, or at least what are perceived to be high quality material possessions, the cars, the house, all of these fancy phones and so on. Sure, I might not have started off with that, but I know that if I really want to go out of my way to go get these things, I can. But I understand that I can't take these things with me when it's time for me to go. When it's time for me to go, I can't take these things with me, and that's okay. Because a new stage of life would be ready for me. I'd make myself ready for that new stage of life. It's a part of the cycle. And sure, it may be within the unknown, and it always will be within the unknown until I pass, but it's a part of the life cycle, and something that I don't have to use to my disadvantage by fearing it, but instead embracing it and enjoying the fact that I'm not immortal. Liking that fact that I am not immortal, and that I don't have to see friends that I'd have die over and over and over again like this is Deadpool. I don't have to do that. I don't have to be stuck here. I'm not stuck here. I have an expiry date. I will eventually have to pass. I eventually am going to have to die. And that's fine. That's okay. I'd rather that than be burnt by the sun. I'm very thankful that this is a reality. In my head I said I thank God, but I don't really believe in God at the moment. I haven't found myself with religious beliefs yet. So I won't say that. If I'm going to say something like that, then I'll mean it. I don't want to use such a name in vain, because we've been conditioned to not use such names in vain. Or maybe I have actually, with the amount of times I said Jesus Christ and not meaning it. I've never had Christian beliefs, so I wouldn't say that, but just as we'd use it as an exclamation more than anything. Or at least I certainly would. I can't speak for other people, but I certainly have done in the past. Many times in the past I have done. I've used it as an exclamation rather than appreciating Jesus. Are the stories about all of these religions real? I don't know. I don't know. And I'm not going to know everything, and that's okay. But if I go out my I will go out my way to learn about all religions. Even if I decide in the end, when I believe I've found myself with in a religious aspect, even if I decide to have atheist beliefs, I purposefully will make myself aware about the belief systems in every main religion, like Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Buddhism, and so on. I consider this very important because it gives me a clear understanding as to how the world works, because there are many believers, many people that believe in religion. Have some people may believe in one set of religious beliefs, and that religious belief only, whereas some may be more lenient and belief values that are in numerous religions, and every degree in between. Some may believe that it's wrong to believe in religions that they don't believe in, or some may be more willing to accept others that believe in different religions, even if that means that these people believe that even if that means that these people don't have any religious beliefs at all. I'm not against having religious beliefs personally, but I am against doing it because your parents have told you to, rather than you wanting to do it for yourself and you making that conscious decision to have either a set of religious beliefs, no religious beliefs at all, or, lack of a better word, picking and choosing between religious beliefs, because you may see value in some messages in religious beliefs, not all of them, in one very specific set of religious beliefs. You may hold value in what numerous religions say about life on certain topics. You may agree with some, you may disagree with some in certain sets of religions. So you may go and do your research on other religions, see what other religions say, and believe their belief systems, partly agreeing and disagreeing. And sometimes maybe not, sometimes maybe simply just not understanding why a set of religious beliefs may say, we believe in this, or you must do this because X, Y, and Z. I can guide myself. I don't need to be told what to do by other people. I don't need to be told what to do by other people or other religions. If I'm looking for advice, then I don't mind receiving advice in that sort of way if I'm looking for it. But I don't need it in a I don't need advice given to me in an authoritarian style, which people are saying, you need to do this and you need to do that. I don't need it. I can guide my own fucking self, thank you very much. And I say that to people and religious beliefs. I could guide my own self. Make it seem like it's by force sometimes. You have to do this, or if not, you're going to hell. Oh, come on, man. There's got to be I don't even have to say there has to be. There is another healthier way of thinking, and it's certainly not that. It's certainly not using shaming tactics or making it seem like something awful's going to happen to you. That's breeding fear amongst people. That's literally breeding fear. That is fear mongering. And that I don't agree with. I'm certainly never going to tell, even if I have religious beliefs in the future, I'm not going to tell anyone, if you do this, you're going to hell. No, I refuse to fearmonger. However, some people who do have religious beliefs may do this without even realizing they're doing it, or they may actually realize they're doing it. They may know damn well that they're doing it, but do it anyway because of their character and who they are as people, because of who they've made themselves out to be. It made it seem like I was pointing at myself there, but no, I wasn't. No, I'll never fearmonger. Even if I have religious beliefs, I will not fearmonger. No, not with those sorts of things. If I'm having a boxing fight or something like that, intimidation might actually work, but I'd rather, if I'm going to want to be intimidating, because that'd help me with a boxing fight, I'd do it through my actions, not through trash talk. I'd rather walk the walk than talk the talk. I've never thought of it in that way, but Yeah, I do. I genuinely believe that that is fear mongering. Telling people that if you don't believe in a certain way, you're going to hell. That's fear mongering. Of course, because hell is seen as something that's so looked down upon. Going to hell is seen as something that's so looked down upon. Of course, people have conditioned themselves to not want to go to that place if it even exists. And that could be the breeding ground for feeling fear in other aspects of your life, if you really believe in that way. Thinking, well, I've done this, am I going to hell? Well, I've done this and that, am I going to go to hell? Am I going to go to this place I really don't want to go to? And that I, without realizing it, have conditioned myself to not want to go there. I'm not saying that people should want to go, not at all. But I would like to, what I am saying is, I really do believe that that's fear mongering. People may say that to fearmonger on purpose, but people may be doing that without realizing it. But I think it's fear mongering, and I stick by that. Wow, I'm feeling very at peace. Oh man, very at peace. Nature. Oh, thank you, Mother Nature, and maybe even Father Nature too. Oh. Do we call nature Mother Nature because mothers are seen as the parent that fulfills that nurturing role, whereas with the father they're more like they are built to fulfill the provider role. I don't know, but it can certainly be very helpful. Nature can certainly be very helpful if you allow nature to be, by getting more in touch with nature. Yeah. I don't even know what to call this video anymore because it's just been a series of thoughts on my mind. So it might just be that I wanted to call it something related to me overcoming fear. I wanted to say the main part of I wanted to use this video to say that I can overcome feeling fear with going to certain areas by just not overthinking. It really is as simple as that. I was hearing scaffolding going on, and I was going to turn back because I thought maybe I could see a group of teenagers, because I didn't know what it was at the time. It was drilling, so I almost did turn back, but I didn't. I went, and there was no one there. I almost tricked myself into it, and I almost tricked myself into not going, and almost bred fear. Almost. There you go. I talk about death that is dark. That was because I lowered the brightness though. That's something that I'd like to take with me as well. If I said started to think fearful thoughts, fear-mongering thoughts, then I could literally just shut them off, stop thinking, stop overthinking. I can. And sometimes that is the solution. Maybe not all the time, but sometimes, if there's something that I've just made up in my head that I haven't even experienced yet, saying or something like because of the dreams referring to Planck Day 80 and Planck Day 90 and that story. I could see teenagers, or I could see these people in particular. I haven't said I could see certain people in particular, but just teenagers. I don't have to think those thoughts anymore. And if that hasn't happened, or even if it does, big deal. If I start thinking those thoughts seemingly out of nowhere, then I can literally just shut the brain off, because I know from personal experience that I'd just be overthinking. I had basically half a year worth of overthinking, no more. I think I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. Here comes the stress relief. Breathe. Phlegm almost came up on that last one. The one before last, sorry. Oh. Summer holidays is coming up, and I'm not gonna feel scared. I'm not going to feel fear. Although last year I would have. Last year I forget would have, I was. Last year I was, but this year, even though summer holidays are coming up, I'm not going to. Because I've improved my mental health so much to the point where I understand that was basically that period of time I put that all-time low, that all-time mental health low that I put myself through was predominantly because of overthinking, and because I did not process my emotional thoughts and my rational thoughts on the matter of what happened. And also those dreams, that event when I got approached by Joseph and 3 of his boys, at least 3 of them. I didn't process my thoughts towards them. I try and shrug them off, push them away. But now that I've overcome that, the world's my oyster. And I know that I'm not scared of little shits that are half my size. Come on, man. Come on. I'm not scared. And I never had to be, but I once was. I once was, because I was thinking that those dreams that family and family friends had were more so a prophecy than a warning. I took it too far. But now I know not to do that again. And I know to laugh things off. I know I can laugh things off. I know I can laugh. I know I can laugh those things off. I know that laughter's my armor. I can use laughter as my armor. And I know that if I'm finding it difficult to laugh something off, then I can take the time to process it and then eventually laugh it off. Or just come here, release, and go about the rest of my days feeling more at peace than ever after overcoming that thing, whatever it is, or whatever they are. I don't have any more thoughts on the matter. I'm done. It is a lot. It's a lot that I'm not going to remember, but as I go further and further along this journey, more of what I want to stick will stick. More of what I consider helpful will stick. I really am using Joe Delaney's piece of advice to my advantage. And that piece of advice I'm referring to is his metaphor of throwing shit at the wall. Throwing a whole load of shit at the wall. Some of it's going to stick and quite a lot of it will fall on the floor, but some of it will stick, and the more you throw, the more things will stick. But yeah, I'm done. I've thought what I want to think, and I'll see you lot in the next one. I can feel my lats, but the left side of my lats feels a bit sore now. But yeah, I'm done. See you lot in the next one. Bye. If there's any advice that I'd give to people who are looking for it, every day's the answer. Every day's the answer. Man, take care of yourself. Take care of your mental health. Track it on a weekly basis. It's not like it's impossible to. There are resources to. Or if you really feel the need to, call the Samaritans. Do something. Just do something. do something, man. Maybe call them, just track your mental health. It's not that hard. The NHS have a depression and anxiety self-assessment quiz. You can literally type up depression and anxiety self-assessment quiz, and then there you go. You can track your health on a weekly basis. It really isn't that hard, and there are resources out there to track your mental health. It's really not that difficult. People could be living much more healthy lives than they are, but they just decide not to, because they decide to stay uneducated for whatever reasons, perhaps. But anyway, I'm done. I'll see you on the next one. I'm gonna go enjoy myself with the nature here. But yeah, I'm done. Bye. My original thumbnail was going to be this. But I decided to change it to a smile, because I am feeling more at peace and happy with after thinking these thoughts I've had. I took those pictures before filming this video, back when that headstone, the fact that there's someone here that lasted only 30 days was settling in, but I've worked through it now, and in doing so, I'm feeling a lot more at peace and happy. This is the end result. Me feeling happy is the end result of me making this video, and I think it's worth showing the end result rather than have those photos as the thumbnail, having one of those photos as a thumbnail, because I don't consider it something to feel unhappy about now that I've worked through it. Death isn't something that we have to fear, man. Death is not something that we have to fear. It's something that we can embrace, and it's something that we can use to our advantage, understanding that is no more than the other part of life. It's a part of the cycle of life. And if we say that the fallen are resting in peace, why is it that we fear it? I can certainly understand why, because just down to a survival instinct level, we fear the unknown. We'd rather stick to what we know, and none of us know about death from a first-hand experience. I'm not Fabrice Muamba, who has been pronounced dead at the scene, or sorry, it's not. I say that as if it was a murder. I'm not Fabrice Muamba, who's been pronounced dead once. I'm not. And that's not even an insult to him, but I'm just saying that because that's reality, or at least my perception of reality. I think he did die on a football pitch, and then something happened. But yeah, it's something that we can embrace, and it's something that we can use to our advantage, rather than fearing it, rather than trying to shrug it off, rather than trying to push that reality away and try and create something different for ourselves. Yeah, this is just a final message that I had, that I wanted to add in this video, because I kept on thinking about it. But now I'm gone. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Alright, I'm gonna get something healthy to eat now. Thanks, Mother Nature, for being here with us, even though we might not treat you all that nicely with deforestation and all of that. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for allowing us to survive. Thank you so much, Mother Nature. Thank you for always being there for all of us, regardless of whether we realize it. Seriously, Mother Nature, thank you. And if Father Nature exists, thank you as well. Mother and Father Nature really can be nurturing, but it provides us life. So in that sense, it's fulfilling a father role too. It's just nature, really. What an amazing tree. I've never called this tree amazing, but I really do like the leaves. Man, I find them so stress relieving. I like the spines of the leaves and how they feel. Yeah, it's great. But I'm feeling hungry, so I'm gonna go get something to eat now. See you lot. See you lot in the next one. Bye. I said I wouldn't laugh, but it's a laugh of happiness, a laugh of joy, not an insult. I'm not laughing at that very, very, very young person that only lasted 30 days. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, that person that in some aspects knows more about life than I'm ever going to whilst alive. Healthy foods. Yeah, not destroying our bodies over here. Even if that means we eat unhealthy foods less, that's great. That's an improvement. But yeah, healthy foods. I don't know what I'm gonna have. May have some pasta, I don't know. But yeah, I'm certainly gonna get something to eat. But yeah, see you lot later. Bye.